Hey, welcome. I got a great one for you today. I am the story sentence coach. I'm going full guru. And this is about awareness. There's this thing, people are talking about, and doesn't belong in storytelling. Doesn't belong there at all. And this is where I have to step in and say no. So there's no guilt in storytelling. You don't have to write a single idea down. You can just go without guilt, all free. You're free. You're free. And that freedom will bring you back. And you're in the pattern. You're in the pattern. The pattern's there. The pattern's there. The results you're getting, those are the problem. But you're in the pattern, and you'll be surprised that, oh yeah, like I was doing this wrong, but I was doing this right. You might say more. So you're in the pattern, and the pattern comes up. I force myself into the pattern when I do this, because, it's so hard to think about, oh, well, what are people gonna like? What are people gonna know? Why can't I teach the whole story? Why can't I teach all the questions? There's answers for all this. And the main answer is, you guys have a problem. I have this problem. I'm fighting this problem. I started fighting this problem when I was young. This video is dangerous. It may go long. Because I got to bring you through the whole problem to explain why there's no guilt in storytelling. No guilt whatsoever. The guilt is in not seeking out the pattern, not looking for the pattern, not knowing the pattern. And that's it. Once you know the pattern, you can't help to seek it out. I have said this before, that I was always in the pattern, and I used the problem to find it. The problem is a great problem. So your problem, my problem was, well, it still is that Socrates came up with this great question. The ancient Greek philosopher, he came up with this great question long ago, and it was, what do I know? And the answer is, I know that I know nothing. I was just laughing at how fit this is, or this, and that's why everything goes into this guilt thing. And so that question, people sort of they only get it so much, right? Because there's few people who say, well, I don't know, and I'm gonna ask all these questions until I get all the right answers. That's what Socrates' point was to keep asking questions, right? And so I've got 3 questions for you. and then eventually the whole barrage of questions, the 20 questions that come from that, it's just, you get all these questions until when you're asking the questions and the storyteller's giving you the answers. That's the pattern. Wow. And it took guilt to bring this out. Guilt is a very powerful force in the universe. So the guilt from the know-nothing problem is that, you're guilty for being ignorant. We don't do much about our ignorance, right? We've got this thing called imposter syndrome, and we reinforce it in others, saying, what the hell, how could you teach a writing class? You don't have a writing degree, right? And it's all philosophy. It's all philosophy. That's what's at the core, is the philosophy. And so a misguided philosophy. So it doesn't matter how prestigious the institution you go to, they're going to teach you creative writing in some creative way, using all these traditional ideas. And these are workarounds. You work around it. So first you come up with a rough draft. All right. And so you've got this rough draft and you're guessing at what the story should be like. You have no clue as to how these other authors did this. Not that they knew how to. It's what they did was, well, they had talent. They had luck. There's a certain amount of the pattern that comes out from just spending 5-10 years on a story. But why do that? There's a pattern, why don't you just learn it? Okay, and so I can tell you're guessing, what is the pattern? And so the pattern goes like this, because this is, this is going to be dangerously long. So it comes from something I call arc theory. Now, arc theory comes from, this began as the idea blaster formula, the writing pattern. The story sentence coach was originally the idea blaster coach. And so it came from a time when I was doing art and writing and inventing toy designs. And so I was like, I was asking myself, what am I doing when I come up with an idea for an invention of any kind? And is that different from coming up with ideas to solve any problem at all? And eventually I landed on this question. And the question was, what am I looking at? But it changed. And then I realized that I'd come up with another question long ago, and I named my personal journal that, and it's called What's Next? And it's like, what's next? But that's not going to help you in every circumstance. There is one question that will help you, and that question is, what's going on? I didn't even know I'd get it on the turn. Yes, I am rollerblading. I wonder if I could fake that in the studio. Maybe like, I don't want to get into that. I'm going to go too far off. All right, so we're with the question, what's going on? And the answer is that we're in a situation, whether we want to come up with an invention for a toy, an invention for the kitchen, or an invention for your rough draft, because no one's teaching you the story pattern. Okay, so the answer is that you act reasonably. There's a reason for everything you do. All right? Now, the application of this reasoning, that's where it goes awry. So yes, you have a reason for everything you do, but when you when you do something, it doesn't exactly come out as planned or as you'd like. And, it's the frustrating part of being a human being. And, see how this is going right along with guilt. And so it's like, did you make the right choices? So everybody is in a situation every half second to 2 seconds of their life, and they're observing it, right? I'm looking around. I'm rollerblading outside. There's sticks and rocks on the ground. There's lizards that jump out. I'm not afraid of lizards. I don't want to kill them. They're like these tiny ones. I ran over one once. Yeah, I feel guilty for that. And so you're in these situations. I had no choice. No, it was a goofball idea. I thought, it's laying on the road. I thought I could spread out my legs, and get down low, right? And I would go past him. He ran into one of my feet, died. Poor guy. I feel guilty. But you don't have to feel guilty. You didn't do it. It wasn't your choice. I can't say that, it was kind of my choice. I was thinking without thinking. I love it when the examples come first. And so, yeah, you think that's the example for the last one. It's actually the example for the next one. So you're in this situation and you react. And you make this association. And so my association was that, well, the lizard's not going to move. Well, that was wrong. And so my reaction was, so I reacted to it by making that action of spreading my legs wide, doing a splits. I am not the king of the splits. My splits is more like a V, a narrow V. Okay, so we've got this story about there's a lizard on the path, and I made a decision that ended its life. And so that's this, I'm making these associations now. And so in the grander sense, like when I see lizards now, I actively try to avoid them. And they generally go towards the side of the road. Unless they're somewhere in the middle, then I really have to go very far to one side and, of course, slow down, because I don't want to kill another lizard. This has been like a confession for me. Okay, so the guilt, and we've covered guilt in so many different ways. Gosh, I'm laughing. That's the sign that we've come to like this. What bothered me the most? What bothered me the most? I never really got to. Well, I think I confessed this before, but now confessing it before the world. Yeah, that's something. Now I am a friend of lizards. In fact, I helped a lizard off the road recently. I think I have a video of it. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, that sort of justifies that video. People would say, well, leave the lizard there. And it's like, no, I mean, there's people riding electric bikes on this path. They're just gonna go right over this lizard. I don't think they're thinking about lizards like I do. But they shouldn't feel guilty. They shouldn't feel guilty. They should go in the street, maybe. That's where those electric bikes should go. And so this has become a lesson in ideation and controlling your breathing while skating. And so this is a new channel, believe it or not. And for the first 100 videos, I mean, it's just no shame. Please like and subscribe. You can confess your sins down below. Remember that, if there's evidence of a crime, YouTube and the posse may come after you. I hope it's not a crime. I'm not going to identify the species of lizard. It may be an endangered species. Probably not, because I was on a public road and there were no signs about endangered species there. Well, okay. We've covered it. I mean, all right. So, wait a minute. No, this is going long. So there's the 3 questions. And the 3 questions. How do these 3 questions relate with guilt? So, I imagine there's going to be repeat viewers soon. And so the repeat viewers are going to be, hey, you didn't put the 3 questions in. Okay, here's the 3 questions. And then, of course, new viewers. They want to know the 3 questions, even though I've covered the guilt part. I don't have to feel guilty about that. So look at these. Look at it. I think I'm in New England now. Where's the yellow ones? Oh, I guess that's dead. No, here's some fall colors. This is about as much as it happens on the West Coast here. Okay, the 3 questions. So the first question is, why do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? Why did I do that? Why did I try the splits? I'm not that great at the splits. It was just thinking without thinking. And then there's the example going before the explanation. Then and it's great. And you should write this way too. It's It's the action before the information drop. And how do you do that? You find some way to force yourself, not the rough draft. Oh, you have to follow the questions. So write down, why do you do what you do? And then write another question. And the next question is, how did this affect you deeply? No, personally, deeply. It's got to go in that order. Personally, deeply. Because you got to lead people in, right? It's again, it's the example going before the explanation. So why do I have all these problems? Well, it's because I don't think of others. That's the personal thing, right? It's common. And then what is it deeply? It's because I'm so selfish. I'm still on guilt, huh? Yeah, still on guilt. All right. And then finally, the climax redeems. And the third question is, what bothered you the most? And what needs to change? Or how this leads to change, right? And I explained that I have changed my behavior. I'm not acting so silly around, these precious little creatures. They eat insects. We don't want all these insects around. Open mouth, insert foot. All right. And so, are we coming to the end of guilt? We did those questions, and those are healing questions, right? When you're talking with someone and they explain, how they're stuck in this job, this choiceless opportunity, or they're stuck in school takes so long, all right? Or they want to start writing, but all these things are in the way, all right? You can talk them through it. You can look in the mirror. This is so much like looking in the mirror, because I'm looking at myself. I'm the director, it's a one-man show here. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. Oh, okay. And so, it's like, oh, that's something that bothers me, right? I could use a director, a cameraman, keep the camera on my face. I guess I'll just throw in some graphics. They're needed. Because you got to talk in this roundabout way to get to the ideas. Whoa. Wow. That should be enshrined. I could title it that way. You could talk about, what's the title? Wait, it's guilt? Maybe another video. Hey, that could be my next video. You got to talk around, you got to go in a roundabout way to get to all the good stuff with the story pattern. Yeah, this is a new channel. Please like and subscribe. Share your comments below. Thank you very much. I can't imagine. I'm like on my 30th video now. I have to start posting. I hope I get a chance this week. I feel, well, it's not guilt. I don't feel guilty. Okay, I'm feeling guilty, because I could start this and reach all these people. So, it's got to be a change. Man, it's so cool. I really like this one. I'm proud of this. It went long, 19. I thought it was going to go a half hour or 40 minutes. All right. Thank you. It's been a great time. Love this. I should say thank you at the end more often. Man, I'm in a guilty state of mind. I got to do something selfish. All right. Take care. See ya. Bye-bye.